How about this? Even the FBI no longer has to get a warrant to take your communications.
Watch this at your own risk. Tonight, TikTok has revealed even more dark secrets that we were not aware of. It feels like every day TikTok is getting darker and darker. And most of you guys are probably wondering, Sean, what do you mean TikTok has a dark side? I know it's 2026 and it may be new year, new me, but these TikToks are still the same old dark secrets. And I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to handle it, but if you think you can, make sure you watch to the end of the video because the mainstream will never show you this. And don't watch alone because this is gonna get terrifying. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
I forgive him. That young man.
You will not sleep tonight once you see what's on my profile.
They put it right in
Buddy
front
mine
of
sent me a
us.
screen recording of him doing this, so I had to look it up for myself. You go to the episode where SpongeBob gets his driver's license, right? And you look at the address, 124 Conch Street, Bikini Bottom. We all know he lives there. So then you go to Google Earth, and I'm gonna delete this, and you look up the address, 124 Conch Street, Bikini Bottom, and it takes you to Little St. James. If you know anything about anything, this is Epstein's Island. That is absolutely wild that they put that shit in front of us for all those years. Just crazy.
I know this theory sounds crazy, but this is a children's show. Say one of these people watching this decides to look up where SpongeBob is from and Jeffrey Epstein's Island comes up, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This island has one of the most disturbing histories in America, and no one really knows the full truth behind it. So like I said before, this island was owned by multi-millionaire Francis Sheldon, pictured right here. And Francis and a number of other local men from Michigan, including this guy, Gerald S. Richards, ran a boys' camp on the island. They would fly kids to the island on this airstrip, kids from the YMCA and other schools and communities in the area. And both the children and the parents of the children who attended this boys' camp were told that this was an island of fun where kids could relax. They had big brothers there. It was going to be totally safe. And this camp ran on this island for a period of years. Then one day, some of the kids who attended the camp began to tell their parents that the counselors or the teachers, the adults that were there on the island, had behaved with them in very, very inappropriate ways. They began telling their friends and parents that they were taken into these cabins pictured here on the island. They were told to remove all of their clothing and that there were cameras all over the place. Well, it turns out that this guy, the multi-millionaire with political and business connections in the area, Francis Sheldon, was running a massive CP ring. And they had been on this island under the guise of bringing them to a boys' camp for years, recording all of it, selling it across the world. And some of the more affluent clients of their business were even allowed to take trips to the island themselves to see some of these boys. Now, this story bears an obvious resemblance to the story of Jeffrey Epstein, but there are some very, very strange things that are happening here that nobody knows about and the government still refuses to talk about to this day. So let's talk about this guy, Gerald S. Richards. He was a gym teacher at a local Catholic school who went down for the crimes, and he was heavily involved with every aspect of this business, if you know what I mean. Well, it seems like through his political and business connections, Francis Sheldon was actually tipped off that he was about to be arrested and raided and charged with these horrific crimes. So Francis, before he could be brought to justice for these crimes, he actually fled the country in a personal plane. He then moved to France, got remarried, and died in Amsterdam, and never had to pay for any of the crimes that were committed here. But it's when we start talking about the that this story really starts to blow my mind. So take a good look at this guy, Chris Bush. This is Christopher Bush's father, Harold Lee Bush. Now, he was an executive with General Motors, and the family was obviously extremely wealthy. They were politically connected, and they were very connected to every business in the area. These guys had a lot of power. But back to Christopher Bush. This guy had assaulted a number of He'd been let out of prison, let out of jail in a very, very suspicious way multiple times, put on bail for serious offenses. And he was an alleged associate of the crime ring that was happening on North Fox Island. Meaning that, like I said earlier, he was one of those people who could afford to actually fly out to the island to do things himself. I'm out of time. Follow for part 3. This is where it gets juicy.
I'm telling you, these people with power get away with whatever they want because they have insider information and there's people that protect them. So who's to say there's not way more of these people being protected right now?
There's a theory. You ever see those body exhibits? In like the science center, they would have like a person's body and their peeled skin and everything like that, right? They're just on display, like muscles, and you see the inside of a human.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
All of those bodies, they say, are volunteers. But check this out. A lot of them came from China. Now, the problem is, in order for the body to be put into that form, or for the body to be used as one of those statues, it needs to be within 2 days of.
Oh shit.
Now, in China, when the bodies are deemed as like unclaimed or whatever, or for volunteer, it takes 30 days. So it doesn't line up. So all of those people or all of those bodies that you see in the science places on display
have to be very are murdered because it has to be very close. 2 days shipping? Yo, China's 30 days, fam.
So something is up there. Something's fishy there.
Whatever you do, do not sleep with your telephone facing you. Whether it's daytime, nighttime, don't sleep with your telephone facing you. Y'all, I'm terrified. Last night, somebody was watching me while I was asleep through my telephone. Now, y'all, I sleep with my phone on the charger, but it's like one of them upright chargers and it's facing my bed. And I went to bed probably about 12 or 1 o'clock last night. For some reason, I really couldn't sleep. So I went to sleep. I'm a light sleeper. I sleep with the TV on. And I sleep with the rain and thunder sound on. So my room is quiet, all besides the little rain and thunder sound that I have on my phone. But my phone goes black or whatever. So when I was asleep, I heard like a microphone, like movement, like somebody was moving a microphone. And I thought that I was tripping. So I just laid there. And then I heard it again. So I woke up and I looked at my phone and I saw a man with his face on the screen watching me. So y'all, I panicked and I just jumped up out the bed like where he can see me. I just jumped up and then I grabbed my phone and I turned it up toward the ceiling like where he couldn't look at me. And he said, "Come back." He told me to come back. Then he started speaking a different language. So I immediately started trying to turn off my phone. I turned my cell phone off. He was still on the phone. And he was speaking in a different language for probably about 30 seconds. And then it finally went away. I'm just telling y'all, I don't know what that was. That was the first time that has ever happened to me in my life. I had a doctor's appointment this morning. My blood pressure was 100/99. And I don't even have high blood pressure. The doctor was like, that's unusual. I just want to tell y'all, I need y'all to share this message. Please do not sleep with your phone facing you. Sleep with it on the back where they can see the roof, because that was insane. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts on this.
You know, I'm not trying to discredit nobody. I'm sure maybe she possibly went through this, but this story just sounds off. Because if I woke up and there was a grown man talking to me through my phone and I seen him watching me while I'm sleeping, yo, I'm gonna go to the police. I'm not gonna go on TikTok and be like, hey guys, there was this strange dude trying to get me while I'm sleeping through my phone. Like, you know what I mean, bro? Like,
you should swallow one piece of gum every 7 years. So we all know we live in a big simulation, and everything around us is computer generated. That there's one thing that isn't part of the simulation. That's gum. Gum is weird. You could chew it. You could just chew forever. That's because gum comes from outside of the simulation. Gum is real. So you also know if you swallow gum, it stays in your system for 7 years. And every cell in your body changes every 7 years. And the 7 year itch, you change personalities every 7 years. That's because every 7 years they come from the outside and they take you away and put a whole new you in there. They can change you any way they want. But if you swallow the gum, then they can't, because the gum locks you in place, because the gum is real. Gum is their weakness. Swallow one piece every 7 years. Any more than that, you might get a stomach ache, but one piece every...
you know, this dude is either nuts or he's so high vibrational that we just don't understand the facts that he's spitting. And, you know, I'm definitely not going to go swallow a piece of gum. And, you know, I would recommend that you guys don't swallow gum. But, you know, maybe he is right. So I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to count him out, but I'm also not going to count him in.
Your smart TV is spying on you. Be aware of the fact that your Apple Watch is listening. And there's cameras everywhere. There's microphones everywhere. You know, you can't just assume that your conversation is private.
Can you disable a smart TV?
No, you need to power it off entirely.
Like unplug it.
Turning it off is not sufficient enough. Our phones, our Alexas, our Apple Watches, our smart TVs are collecting data on us. And there's AI now that grabs keywords that people say, and then it's assigned to an agent, and that agent then goes through and looks at the conversation and sees if it's worth picking up on and investigating further. So it's not necessarily just about the fact that we're being mass surveilled. It's about the fact that we have AI tools now that are helping people more rapidly process this information, that I think is extremely scary, because AI gets it wrong. And you may be saying something that you think is innocent. Whether or not it's interpreted that way by AI, or whether or not it's interpreted as innocent by the person that gets assigned that case, is not up to you.
That's a pretty scary thought.
There's actually a theory that the elites and the Pizzagate stuff, there's actually a TV show that relates all to it.
What TV show is it?
And it's a very, very popular TV show.
Whoa.
And it's a huge cultural significance in media, bro.
Like a kid show, or like adults can watch it too? Kids. We watched it. You can say I watched it?
Yeah,
Whoa.
everybody watched it.
SpongeBob?
It's Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
So, you know everything about the Illuminati, them being reptiles? Listen, Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's crazy.
They're reptiles who live underground in tunnels.
Yeah.
What do they eat? What's their favorite food?
Pizza.
Who are they really connected to? April O'Neil. Yeah. What is April O'Neil? The media.
Oh, that's insane. Oh, that's insane. Because
they're hiding.
They're under the tunnels.
Under
and
the
people,
tunnels and the reptiles.
Theories saying, oh, there's societies underground.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucked.
It's low-key a theory that they're showing the significance of, like, oh, the reptiles living, the Pizzagate.
This Japanese urban legend is one of the most chilling, disturbing ones, the slit mouth woman. If anybody's in Japan, or if you ever go to Japan and you see a woman in a trench coat and a surgical mask, and she asks you, am I pretty?
Yo, I heard about this.
run away, bro. It starts off with a woman who was really, really beautiful. She was married to a samurai. She would go out in the town and stuff. The people that would stare at her, she would ask them, do you think I'm pretty? Her knowing obviously the answer, but she just liked the attention. What a bop. Her husband didn't like that. She was getting all that attention, and there was a point where that woman ended up having an affair with another man. The samurai found out, obviously was furious, has the plan to basically make her pay. So there was one day where he ran up on her, pressed against her cheek, and smiled from ear to ear. Literally told her, who's gonna think you're beautiful now? She ended up, and she returned to Earth as a vengeful spirit who haunts the streets of Japan. She would approach you, and then she would ask you, am I pretty? Depending on your answer, there's different outcome. If you say no, you automatically, bro. She takes out long ass surgical scissors. You say yes, she gets closer to you, unravels the mask, and then you see her disfigured smile and asks you again, do you think I'm pretty? If you say yes again, she the same slits basically match her smile. People say that they came up with a way to try to avoid her is if she asks you if she's pretty, give her a generic boring answer like not your average, because it'll confuse her. That gives you enough time to run away.
5 out of 10, like you can do better. Yo.
Dude, for anybody that owns an iPhone, Apple just issued a major warning for anybody that charges their phone while they sleep. So this is a warning that's once again coming out, and if you charge your iPhone overnight next to your bed, you actually might need to hear this. Apple is now once again warning users that if you charge your iPhone while you're sleeping, it can be dangerous, especially if it's covered up, trapped, or touching your body. I know that this is probably going to sound insane and a little bit excessive, but according to Apple's own safety guidelines, you should never charge your iPhone under a pillow, under a blanket, or while it's pressed against you. That's because heat gets trapped, and then it can lead to overheating, burns, electric shock, and even fire in extreme cases. This has already happened to people several times now, which is why Apple is now having to issue an official warning about it. This isn't about just charging your phone overnight itself. Apple is saying that the risk is coming from airflow, so if your phone can't breathe while it's charging, the temperature can spike fast. They're also warning people very specifically about third-party chargers and cables. If they're cheap or they're not properly certified, the risk can go way up. Apple is literally saying themselves to not sleep on or near a charging device at all, which means if your phone is under your pillow or the charger's up in your blankets and you're laying sideways on your bed right now, that's literally what they're talking about. I guess move your phone off your bed and keep it uncovered, but also share this to anybody you know that probably sleeps with their phone under their pillow.
You know the Kardashian curse? So people found out back in the 1800s, they had an ancestor called Kikil. So Kikil, back then, she was like abused by her parents. She was 19-year-olds with a kid. Her parents didn't like her. She had all types of trauma. She ended up in a province in Armenia. In Armenia, that province is known for witches. She connected to the witches. She's like, okay, I don't want my grandchildren in the future to have the same upbringing as me. I want you to grant them beauty, fortune, and fame. The witches said they can grant them, but the only downfall is they will never ever find true love, or they will always have troubles finding a significant other. And look what happened.
I feel fantastic. If you're 18 or older, you probably saw the viral video called I Feel Fantastic. In it, a stiff robot with wide, staring eyes sang an eerie tune that kept saying, I feel fantastic, while wearing different outfits. The video seemed to appear out of nowhere, and once it spread, people couldn't stop speculating about what it really was. The most popular theory was frightening. The robot had been built by a disturbed criminal who dressed it in the clothes of his victims. At some point in the video, the camera pointed towards a random garden, and people speculated that was the place where the victims were buried. The mystery only deepened when the original upload disappeared from the internet. Re-uploads kept circulating for years, keeping the legend alive but never solving the question of where this strange robot actually came from. In 2020, writer Yeezy Lit decided to investigate, and searching through old websites, Lit found photos of the same robot on obscure Android enthusiast forums, some dating back to 2001. These forums revealed the name of the man who created it, John Bergeron. Far from being a criminal, Bergeron was an inventor trying to build something new for the entertainment industry. The robot's name was Tara, and Bergeron had built her as a prototype for about $2,000 at the time. His dream was to mass-produce Tara as a singing android, but that plan never succeeded.
A passenger captured a chilling image before their plane took off. Eerie lights were emanating from cracks in the airport ground. Multiple reports suggest that the United States is secretly building underground cities for the wealthy and powerful to take refuge in. Luxurious passages, advanced facilities, even independent power and water sources. Everything looks like a doomsday contingency plan. Why the secrecy? Why build them underground? Is it for future disasters, nuclear war, or social unrest? And is the world we see every day just the tip of the iceberg. Some experts warn that if such projects are exposed, they could trigger public panic. Some even suspect that these underground cities have existed for years, that the wealthy have already moved in, while we remain oblivious in our daily lives. The streaks of light in the video silently extend, as if hinting to us that someone is preparing, that it has nothing to do with us.
Most infamous UK missing people cases, the case of Andrew Gosden.
I've never heard of this.
On September 14th, 2007, right? It was a regular day for Andrew.
Yeah.
He was getting ready for school, but the only thing is that he actually never made it to school. He ended up taking a detour. He didn't take the school bus. He ended up going to a local gas station and going to the ATM, and he withdrew $200 from it. He went back to his house. He changed into a Slipknot shirt, black jeans, took his PSP with him, he took his house keys, and he went to the train station, right? And he was so adamant about buying only a one-way ticket. He wasn't trying to buy no two-way ticket, even though the clerk was offering him, and it would have been cheaper if he just bought the two-way ticket instead of on just the one-way ticket, right? So he goes, it's gonna take him to London, and people saw him. There's eyewitnesses saying that they saw him on the train, and he was not really interacting with nobody. He was just so stuck on his PSP. There's footage of him getting out of the train station, and that's the very, very last time
that they saw him.
Anybody ever saw Andrew Gosden. The theories that as to why he went missing or what might have happened, since he wasn't sociable at school, he wasn't really a person who had that many friends, but he loved gaming, is that possibly he met somebody online through video games and shit like that, and maybe he went to go meet up with them, but he ended up meeting the wrong person.
Cases like this are really sad because these people disappear with no trace, and there's just never any justice served. So something terrible could have happened, and that person that committed this crime is still lingering the streets. So just make sure you guys pay attention to your surroundings, be safe, make sure you're always with somebody, especially if you're gonna go out somewhere that you're not really familiar with, and y'all just be safe out there.
A girl beat them in a rap battle, so they doused her with gasoline, on fire, and assaulted her. They also shot her at the end to finish the job. However, she lived, luckily. This happened in Columbus, Georgia, and this seriously was just over a rap battle, which is crazy to me. Police responded to the vacant lot that the woman was in. She was screaming for help. When they pulled in, they found her shot multiple times. There was all over her body and bruises everywhere too. When questioning the woman on how she got like this, she said she was at a house party, she rap battled.
Just me, or is everybody just looking completely different than how they used to look? It's all in the eyes. You can see in the eyes the soul of the people, their identity. And things are just not adding up to me. What do you guys think about this?
Got married and then I was sobbing because I was like, I'm gonna die the next day. I think that's a little, life thing.
Women need to be more confident in who they are. It just used to be so different. It used to be the men had to be gentlemen in order to get one girl's attention. And now it's reversed. Now it's they're disrespectful and then they're just kind of there. It's crazy to me. So I have a very strong group of girls around me who have taught me that, and it's good. It's just important. So there's not enough of that. That's why my girls are everything, because we're not afraid to just be confident in who we are, and if a gentleman can't handle that, then that's not that's not.
Girl, we love Canada. I don't like listening to myself.
Yeah, when we're tired, we're tired. When we're funny, and when we're acting, we're busy working.
Going to sleep late at night is linked with higher IQ. This study found people with higher IQs were more likely to go to bed and wake up much later than those with lower IQs. Smarter people tend to do things that our ancestors didn't do, like staying awake long after sunset, which is called the Savannah IQ interaction hypothesis. The smarter your brain, the more it rebels against evolution. So if you're a night owl, then don't waste it doom scrolling on social media. That's when your brain is the most creative. So study, build, and create, because...
How about this? Even the FBI no longer has to get a warrant to take your communications, right? The metadata from your communications is for sale. All they have to do is call T-Mobile and say, hey, I want Julian Dory's communications. Here's the $5,000 that you charge.
Here's a food that you should never refrigerate because it literally becomes toxic overnight if you decide to do that. I've talked about this before, but I have to mention it again because I see people constantly making the same mistake, and that's refrigerating your rice. When rice cools, it breeds Bacillus cereus bacteria and mold that release dangerous mycotoxins. And here's the scary part. You can't smell it, you can't see it, and you can't even taste it. But those toxins slowly hijack your body, causing brain fog, hormone chaos, immune suppression, and gut issues. So what should you do? Cool rice quickly within 1 hour and eat it within 24 hours. Never store it longer. And if you want me to send you the full list of foods that go bad really quickly, just comment bad below and I'll DM it to you right away.
Well, I don't really eat rice like that, only occasionally. But, it's actually really good to know. So definitely, if you guys aren't trying to die, don't put your rice in the fridge because, it can get moldy and take you off the earth.
People are freaking out after realizing they definitely should not be doing this. This is insane. The fact people didn't know this, but a lot of people didn't, apparently. Everyone has a bed, of course. You're probably laying in it right now. But when was the last time that you changed your bedding? But not just that, your actual pillows, duvet, and everything about the bed. As I'm sure you're aware, when you sleep in a bed, obviously it's gonna get a bit dirty. If you're laying in the same things constantly, it'd be like wearing the same t-shirt for like a month in a row. Now, a lot of people thought that you change your sheet on the bed maybe once a month, your duvet covers, pillow covers once every month or few weeks. But it's definitely not that, and just wait till you see that you have to actually replace the physical stuff as well. So regularly replacing the bed sheets, just what you're laying in constantly, is essential because it gets absolutely filthy. Research from scientists and doctors show that you should be changing your sheets every single week. And there's even some people that do it every single day. Now, what people also didn't realise is how often you should actually replace like the physical duvet or pillows. You should not have the same sheets or duvet covers at all after 2 to 3 years, and I know some of you 100% do. Your actual pillows should be replaced between 2 and 3 years, so after that time you have to just chuck it out. Your actual duvet, again, between 2 and 3 years, and the actual mattress 6 to 8. And I just know for certain there's a lot of you who have the same bedding that you've probably had since you were a child. Oh, it's been washed, it's fine. Well, apparently not.
This man disappeared after revealing the dark truth about bottled water. Let's see it.
Okay, now we're gonna test the Arrowhead water, okay? Okay, barely any light at all. It's dead water, it has no electrical current. Let's try the Dasani. Nope, very dead. Let's try Essentia. Okay, this is supposed to be alkaline water. Nope, nothing. Now let's try Kangen water. Do you see what just happened, guys? This water is electrically charged, okay? It's rich in antioxidants naturally. There's no additives added to the water. It is all created by an electrical process. It's called an electrolysis. Okay, let's go back.
A man vanished without a trace after claiming he had uncovered the dark truth behind bottled water. According to those close to him, he had been investigating strange additives, hidden testing results, and a powerful industry determined to keep consumers in the dark. Just days after he shared what he found, he was gone, leaving behind only questions, whispers, and a story that feels too chilling to ignore.
This Mexican kids show vanished because it traumatized a lot of children. It was called Mimi y los Amiguitos, Mimi and her friends. This show aired in the 2000s, however there was only 3 episodes because after those 3 episodes it was completely gone. Mimi y los Amiguitos was meant to teach morals, but something went completely wrong. One of the shows ended with a creepy puppet saying "No hay salida, solo silencio." There's no exit, just silence. Parents complained that their children were too scared to sleep and some of them were too scared to even speak. They say that the final episode ended with a drawing of a dark tunnel saying, "She's in there, she's gonna get you." Another one said, "She's still inside, waiting." Canal 9 pulled the plug and no one ever found the episodes. Some believe it was a mind control experiment for little kids, but it wasn't confirmed. One of the creepiest things about this is that there's some parents that supposedly claim that this show still airs only if their child is watching the TV.
People are finding photos on their phone that they never took. There's a terrifying new phenomenon online called the photo you never took. And once you hear what people are finding, you'll never trust your phone again. It usually starts the same way. You're scrolling your gallery, normal pictures, normal days, then suddenly a photo you've never seen before. A man found a picture of himself sleeping, face turned toward the camera, mouth slightly open, perfectly framed. But here's the part that made him freeze. He lives alone, his door was locked, and the timestamp said 3:14 a.m., the exact moment he was sound asleep. Another woman found a photo of herself walking into her apartment, but she was holding a bag she doesn't own. Same hair, same outfit, same posture, just wrong. But the scariest case comes from a teenager in Arizona. He found a picture of himself standing in his kitchen, looking directly at the camera, with his eyes slightly too wide. He checked the metadata, and it said captured on unknown device. It wasn't taken by his phone or any phone he'd ever owned. Experts are blaming glitches, corrupted files, accidental backup. But here's where no one can explain. The lighting in these photos always matches the exact moment they appear. The shadows line up perfectly, and sometimes the person in the photo is doing something they don't remember doing. The leading theory is these photos are leaks. Snapshots from timelines where you made different choices. Moments from versions of you that aren't supposed to cross over. But the darkest theory, these aren't alternate versions at all. Something else is taking these photos, something that sees you when you're most vulnerable, and leaves evidence behind. I'd check my camera roll if I was you after watching this. Stay weird.
There's something going on right now on kids' iPhones and everything they're watching on.
Yeah.
If they go on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or any like reel system, there's content. I don't know if have you seen the Minion AI content?
Minion AI? No, what the heck?
So there's a whole bunch of these Minion videos popping up on kids'
Like
For You
Despicable
pages.
Me Minion?
Yeah, Despicable Me Minions, right? Now, they're doing really, really weird stuff on camera. And you guys have to watch your kids. Try to see if this is on their phone.
Yeah.
But there's Minions, it's AI generated, right? So they're like morphing into weird shapes, they're grabbing different things. But if you look really closely, they're doing, some of them, violent and terrible acts. Now check this out.
Before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
Those AI generated videos, what they are is people took videos from the dark web of
what?
And all of these different putting it into the AI generator, changing it into Minions, and posting it for kids to watch.
What the?
Right now.
Yo.
So be careful if you guys see any of your little cousins, any like children that you know.
Yeah.
Be careful if they're watching that stuff.
You know, I really don't think any kids should be on the internet in general. Like for me, I had to wait years and years and years until I was able to even, you know, get an iPod. So, you know, like I feel like video games are okay depending on what game it is, but like just the internet in general just rots your brain. So
if I click chaos, all of them go off at the same time. So another one, CVS spam is what it's called on here, but CVS, Walgreens, Lowe's, all those places that have the assistance bells, like, you know, when you're in an aisle and it'll say like, click the button to get an attendant. All of those buttons have been captured by hackers out there. So if you're in, let's just say a CVS, and I click CVS spam, I have first aid department, aisle 11, film department, vitamin department, all of like so many, like at least 100 different buttons. And then there's a chaos mode. You see that button down there? It says chaos.
Yeah.
So if I click chaos, all of them go off at the same time. So the intercom goes, ding, assistance needed in the dentistry department. Ding, assistant needed in the cosmetic. But the funny part is
we gotta go to CVS tonight, and I gotta hear this shit. This is hilarious.
The part that sucks for the employees at the place is sometimes it's ringing bells that they don't even have. So they can't go to the aisle to turn it off. They got to go into the back and reset the system because they might not have a cosmetics department, but they need assistance in the cosmetic department.
Bro, have you ever wondered why pigs have eyes that look like human eyes? I guess their eyes do look like human eyes. No, why? This might blow your mind, and I read it somewhere. So you know how in the Bible Jesus casted out a legion of demons into pigs? They didn't want to go to hell, so he casted them into pigs? Wait a minute. Is that why Jesus calls pork filthy? I'm not sure, but something else. Pigs aren't able to look up into the sky. Their bodies won't allow them to look up. Almost like it implies they can't look up to heaven. Okay, whoa. And it's not just that. This next one's gonna sound weird. I know it's gonna sound weird. But they have interviewed cannibal serial killers before, and when asked what human flesh tastes like, they say it tastes like pork. Wait, so you're trying to say that pigs are actually...
I bring this every country I go to, everywhere I go.
So this thing basically detects if there's anything listening or gathering information on you.
Just think of it as a way to determine if your phone's being tracked. See that green line at the top there?
Yeah.
So that means that there are no stingrays within proximity to us, which is how the feds or certain people can track your phone's location. I can take this, I can use my phone. Oh, actually, what the heck? I actually have a warning here.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Look at this. There's a red warning. Seriously, I didn't set this up. I really didn't. I swear to God.
Well, how do you know what it is?
I'll download it and try to see, but it just lets me know there's a device within proximity. That's my first time ever seeing a warning.
If you see this, whatever you do, do not kill it. This creature looks horrible, and if you saw this in your house, you would probably think, I need to get rid of this right now. But this is definitely an insect that you do not want to kill if you find it in your house. So this thing is actually a house centipede. They're in pretty much every environment, so if you live in the UK, you're not, safe from this. But the crazy thing is, this is actually a good thing to have in your house, believe it or not. These centipedes actually feed on other bugs such as spiders, ants, woodlouse, anything that you might commonly have in your house. But the interesting thing is, if you find one of these, it may actually indicate that there's something a lot more going on in your house, as they typically pop up when there's an infestation in the property of other things, which could be spiders, ants, anything. So if you find one of these, don't worry about it, because it's actually going to help you by eating whatever else could be there. But instead, you're going to want to check what else could actually be infesting your house, because the one thing you don't want is 100 million spiders falling on you at night.
You know, I get he's doing his job, but if I seen that in my room while I'm trying to go to sleep, I'm not going to sleep, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna have to move out, or, we're gonna have to figure something out, because, I'm all right. And if something like this shows up in your house and there's something worse, I don't want to know what worse is, because that already looks bad. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're gonna be on to the next one. Thank you.